Hi, and welcome back for round 3 of the standard metagame challenge with Esper Dance. So far we've defeated a black-white Doom Foretold deck and an Azorius control deck. Let's dive into round 3. Overall, this deck feels really powerful. It definitely has a great late game as long as we can get there. The one type of deck that might be a bit of a concern is an aggro deck. So I am hoping to play one of those and see how it plays out. And we'll start with our Scryland. Even against aggro with Oath of Kaya, Birth of Meletus, and Kaya's Wrath, we have pretty good game, and it looks like we might get a chance to play the mono black devotion deck. Go ahead and play Birth of Meletus. Generate a blocker next turn. One of the really nice synergies of this deck is the ability to bounce your enchantments with Teferi and get multiple uses out of them. That comes up a lot with things like Oath of Kaya if you need to kill multiple creatures. We definitely do want to get that Treacherous Blessing down at some point. Right now, I think we'll take this opportunity to get rid of the Gutterbone permanently. Maybe not permanently. Still worthwhile, though. Yeah, I haven't played with Elspeth's Nightmare a lot. I was hoping it was Exile, but Destroy is not too bad. Oh, so this is actually a black-red sacrifice deck. Go ahead and block. And this coming turn we'll be able to Oath of Kaya the Rankle. And I don't really think we need this Omen of the Sea. And let's see what they're working with. Alright, all Rankles and Mayhem Devils. That makes me a little less inclined to kill this Rankle and more inclined to bounce it. Well, definitely we're going to not take 2 from our Pain Land. I think it's actually okay to kill this one, take a hit from the next one, bounce Oath of Kaya with Teferi, and replay it on the following turn. It would be great if we can find a Kaya's Wrath, so we can come up with a plan to get rid of multiple creatures at once. Our life total is still decently high though, so we are not in too bad a shape. Oh, and Doom Foretold is the perfect draw here. And I think that's usually the case. So finally, we did get rid of the Gutterbones permanently, as well as the cat, which is nice. And we'll pass back to them. So it's going to be hard for them to get any traction from this point. We are going to be able to keep that Doom Foretold going. And we, as I mentioned earlier, have so much card advantage. As long as we can turn the corner against the more aggressive decks, it's really hard to compete with our late game. Here we will sack the Oath of Kaya, taking 1 damage. And gotta be careful with the ordering there. We're gonna play Teferi as well as Treacherous Blessing. Go ahead and bounce the Midnight Reaper.
Let's try this.
And play our Treacherous Blessing. So this will take out our Teferi. On our turn, we'll sacrifice the Treacherous Blessing, play another Teferi, and probably the Birth of Meletus. start with Teferi.
I am not
Play out
this
Birth of Meletus. And here I do like the ability to scry, so we're going to use the Omen of the Sea, but we're going to do it on their turn. And I actually kind of like Teferi Plus. This will buy us some life, as well as give them a hard time getting it off the board with what they've got. When I say gain us some life, what I really mean is it's going to force them to attack Teferi if they want to get rid of it, so our life total will be preserved that way.
Don't make another move.
So they are trying to generate their own card advantage engine, but it does not really compare to what we have going on over here. Yeah, they may just decide their only chance at winning this game is to attack our life total. But that does give us the option of using Teferi to bounce something if we need to. Alright, so they have double Midnight Reaper. And here, I do quite like Ashiok. This will allow us to get rid of one of their Midnight Reapers. We will sack the Omen of the Sea. I think this is important to limit their ability to draw back into this game.
Welcome to my domain, Planeswalker.
And here we can actually Teferi bounce the other one as well. And while they are going to get a few cards off of this, it will limit their non-token permanence for the Doom Foretold.
That's more like it.
Alright, and again we're going to play the Omen of the Sea on their turn. And then eventually, hopefully we can find our Dance of the Manse and really pull ahead in this game. The Mayhem Devil is dangerous. They do have the opportunity to sack the Midnight Reaper to get rid of our Teferi. And I think we're going to keep the Omen on top as some fodder for our Doom Foretold, and the Scry could be valuable, helping us get to that Dance of the Manse. And we'll see if they're still... Okay, they do decide to target the Teferi. I was going to say, we'll see if they're still going after our life total, but they've decided that the Teferi was a little bit too valuable. Unfortunately, we can keep Ashiok alive for at least one activation here. Unless they decide to sacrifice the Midnight Reaper. Alright, so they do decide it is worth it to get Ashok off the battlefield as well. Now we're really just hoping to hit a Dance of the Manse and rebuy a whole bunch of our enchantments. Start out with a Scry. Oath of Kaya is the perfect draw here. Take out a Mayhem Devil. And I like having the option of drawing 2 cards here. Let's see what we hit on the first one. Seems worthwhile. Of note, we have no more planes for Birth of Meletus, making that card a little bit less valuable. The second Doom Foretold will be really nice, however. And I feel like we've gotten our life total up high enough that we are stabilized against any Mayhem Devil shenanigans. They've been pretty aggressive with the Rankle. We'll see if they continue to have us draw discard. We'll go ahead and sack the Oath of Kaya. Play out a second Doom Foretold. And a Scryland. Kaya's Wrath doesn't really seem necessary since they'll be sacrificing everything on the next turn anyway. It is a little bit of a good insurance plan, but I don't think we need it. And the fact that we're also getting a card off this Stormfist will help us dig towards our Dance of the Manse. Another Oath of Kaya will buffer our life total a bit. I think I am going to scry with this, because at this point we really do want to find one of those Dance of the Manse cards to allow us to buy everything back. Although another Doom Foretold is also quite good. So here we can Oath of Kaya. This gives us a little bit of insurance if they find something to sacrifice to the Doom Foretold. And buffers our life total. I don't think there's much that they can do at instant speed, however, so just having the 3 Doom Foretold triggers go off should be enough to really end this game. And they escape the Woe Strider. They get to survive for another turn. Although our Dance of the Manse has arrived, so it is time to finally finish off the game. We'll go ahead and grab Elspeth's Nightmare, Oath of Kaya, Treacherous Blessing, second Oath of Kaya, and the Omen of the Sea. Alright, game 1 in the books. So against the red-black sacrifice deck, it could be useful to take out things like Witch's Oven. So Heliod's Intervention is a card I'm considering. Devout Decree gets rid of pretty much all of their problem creatures like the Mayhem Devil, so I think we want all 4 of those. I think we can actually do without the Heliod's Intervention, as our Doom Foretold can clean up some of the Witch's Ovens as well. In terms of cards that we do not need, they don't have a ton of cards with 2 power or less. We saw the cat as well as the 2/1. I think we can trim 2 of our Kaya's Wraths. And probably we don't need the Elspeth's Nightmares. We do lose the ability to exile their graveyard. I haven't seen too many things that really concern me. Obviously they can escape the Woe Strider, but that's pretty slow, and we have a pretty good lock on handling a couple creatures. Oath of Kaya seems like a really strong draw. Again, with Teferi, that's a nice combo. You can kill 2 creatures with 3 toughness or less. Stormfist Crusader is certainly one of the better cards for them in this matchup, especially when they're on the play and we can't use all of the cards they're generating. So there's a good chance we try to take it out with Oath of Kaya on our turn. Second Stormfist Crusader, but no land. We are going to have to shock ourselves here. And then next turn, we can potentially start playing Doom Foretold. So Stormfist Crusader is a little bit less powerful when they are not making their land drops to play multiple things in one turn. Seems like they've been just a bit unlucky with their draw so far, to be honest. So they did get rid of one of our Doom Foretold, and it looks like they're about to get rid of the second. That's just fueling our Dance of the Manse, though. We will be able to buy those back in a little bit. So I think it makes sense to Oath of Kaya here. They're not able to hit their land drops. There's no reason for us to give them more chances at it. And from here, we should be able to run away with the game. We can Treacherous Blessing and bounce it with Teferi. We're also just very Oath of Kaya flooded, which is pretty funny. I think keeping their board clear is important, so I have no problem playing this one out. Just not letting them gain any traction seems strong. And at 21 life, I think we can actually afford to shock here, and we can play the Omen of the Sea on their turn. Rankle comes down. And we do want to just keep hitting land drops. So I'll take the non-pain land. Alright. at this point, we can exile Rankle. We don't really need the golden egg there. And I think Teferi
Sorry I'm late.
bouncing Oath of Kaya gives us a nice plan against whatever else they draw. And we're getting close to the 8 mana we need to just completely go off with Dance of the Mance. Another Midnight Reaper. And the Gutter Bones, the card that I could not remember the name of when I was that board. And that is a well-timed Kaya's Wrath. They will be able to draw some cards, but again, compared to our card draw engine, it really doesn't matter if they're drawing cards. So I'm pretty happy to go ahead and play this out. We can actually wait until their turn, since Teferi does give us the ability to do that at instant speed. And I like playing the Birth of Meletus here. This will continue to buffer our life total and guarantee us that we make our land drop. And since we are going to Oath of Kaya on their turn, there is no reason for us to do anything else. And this is a good opportunity to clear the board. And although we haven't really done much attacking this game, they're already at 10 life, so we're already getting into territory where we can potentially start to finish them off with Oath of Kaya. And if we hit a land drop next turn, we can bring back 2 of them and 2 Doom Foretold. Actually, we can do it even without the land drop. We just can't make them creatures. Which is probably still worthwhile. I don't see any way they could come back from that. So you're going to go ahead and dance for 5. And here, once they sacrifice their 2 Witches' Ovens, it's going to be hard for them to generate enough permanence to get out of Doom Foretold range. Alright, that is 3-0 in the Standard Metagame Challenge, and we've actually won every game so far, so hopefully we can keep that up. Come join for round 4 next. Thank you.